enjoyed the show. Welcome to Triforce.
Welcome to the Triforce podcast. I am your host, Matthew Bucarell, the Mat Man. In the Perjanger box, we have Christopher Bristow, the old man, as well as our wonderful woman, Katarina Thermoscara, making her triumphant return.
Yep.
As always, our omnipotent presence that is Big Brother, Stephen Bucarell. And Link Diablo, mascot, hero time. Probably, oh, he's right next to me. There you go, bud. You get your credit. A lot like the credit that we want you to go over to Triforce Podcast main live site, as well as we got audio.
Yeah, we got to check that right now.
I just checked it on the Streamlabs. Last week was we call those podcasts the best podcast you'll never hear. But if you can read lips, you probably laughed your ass off.
Yeah, very much so.
You were all over the place.
One of those.
But it's one of those things that
I was literally like, oh my God, we lost sound. Like
I was just, man, I didn't check it. We had to, old man and myself, we were struggling with this internet gremlin that's just continuing to plague us, probably due to natural world events. But weird internet gremlins aside.
You and the Volkswagen group?
Yeah, for real. We want you to hop over to facebook.com/TriforcePod, because that's where you're going to find all of our content, gang. You can also hop on over to twitch.com/PJNWH if you want to check out the live stream over there. But we also want you to know tonight, no family origin, time to stop running, Barry, an MMO that knows it sucks, and so much more on the Triforce Podcast. We got a great show. Great show. Like starting off with our first story, which is not a good one, I'm sorry to say, but Nichelle Nichols, Lieutenant/Commander, depending on the time view that you're looking at it, Uhura, dies at the ripe old age of 89, man. That is still a big bucket to win. The mass of influence that she holds through history is expansive in and of itself, to where this is a true legend being snuffed out. I mean, she essentially, well, she did.
Are you implying she was assassinated?
No. She was mauled by a tiger in Cuba. But,
well, live life fullest to the end. Straight to the end.
That did not happen. I actually looked through the story that I have here, and they didn't say how she died.
Okay, so it was the tiger.
But you're coming off the civil rights movement. You have Star Trek coming out. She was the first, for a lot of people, interracial, especially strong female characters for a lot of people. She was very influential in nerddom. And then, when you look into the story, she continued to fight. Like when she was a part of NASA in the movement to get women and other people of other handicaps, like not handicaps, but other minorities involved in NASA. She was heavy in that. How are you going to tell Lieutenant Uhura no? They didn't, by the way. Little history. But as influential as she was, I mean, what are your thoughts on it, you two?
What are your thoughts on a death? Really?
Yeah, Katarina.
Okay.
What
do you think about death?
Her, not
I think
the death.
Death is inevitable, but some deaths certainly hit harder than others.
Because you're a original series fan.
I am an all Trek fan, new Trek, old Trek. It's all good to me.
It's very easy to be that.
You don't expect people to live forever. And she was 89. I don't want to say that that's a good long run, but it is a good long run. And right up until the end, she was revered as the icon that she was. She did comic conventions. I had the pleasure of meeting her, and she had so much grace. and poise, and she was so kind and so humble and appreciated everyone that came up to speak to her, and almost quit.
Damn.
Because of all the backlash that she was getting from that first season of Trek, and it was Martin Luther King Jr. that convinced her to stay because of what she was doing for people of color, not just women but men as well, and children, showing that they can aspire to be things. So yes, everyone dies eventually. And yes, she lived 89 years on this earth, and I hope that they were more good than bad. But it still is a loss, not only to the Trek community, but to people of color, to people who love science and space and exploration and new worlds. So she lived long and prosper.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's the best we can ask for anyone. So
Beautiful words. That's why I let it over to you, because I knew you would have the perfect thing to say, because I couldn't think of anything more beautiful. Old man, anything better? You're the prolific one.
Nothing better. She kind of just summed it up, existentially eloquently. So there's nothing you can say.
Yeah.
She broke down barriers in a time where, it was shunned upon.
Yeah.
Especially like during that era of television. Gene Roddenberry had a forethought of putting this show out there, and just the show itself was getting, lambasted. And then on top of that, her in this role was just adding that fuel to the fire too. So then it just found this breath of, this reverence that, I say there's the pendulum swings both ways with geek and comic book culture. And some people do take it too far, and some people do hold it in high regard. And she was one of the forerunners in the genre that will forever be a legend and an idol.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what she accomplished in her life was legendary in and of itself. And that's why we don't cover every death, especially now. There have been a lot.
And even when she popped up in other shows, like, she popped up in Heroes.
Yeah.
That was an amazing feat in itself. Just seeing her have that, and and that was the talk. Like, Twitter wasn't even a thing then, but that was crazy on MySpace when that hit. So those
bringing it back to MySpace there.
Yeah. That was the Heroes was MySpace, right? Right before Facebook.
Yeah, man. Damn. Bringing it back.
So those things happen in a certain place and time, and that we, the generation that we're in now we get to see enjoy the trials and tribulations that they went through. Yeah. And have them on this aisle of reverence, and deservingly so.
Even to the point of just looking at how many shows take their template of diversity.
And without her in that role, who knows what Star Trek would be?
Absolutely. Okay. She made it. A lot like making this next story. Probably not going to be as legendary, but it may be a good film because Kevin Feige.
I thought you were just trying to talk about the Pokemon that you just
Wait,
caught.
Before we move on, I just have to say one thing about Uhura.
Yes.
There was an episode in TOS called The Naked Time, and Sulu says something along the lines of, "I'll protect you, fair maiden," and she ad-libbed the line, "Sorry, neither," to assert as like, I don't need you to protect me, I can do it myself. And that was such a powerful moment for her and for women and for people of color and
just empowerment in general.
I always saw her. I mean, if you're looking at it canonically, especially strong, nerdy characters and women, she was that character before Princess Leia.
Yeah. Sure.
To where you have two, really strong, powerful women right there.
I'm sorry, we can move on. I apologize.
We're also getting another strong, powerful woman this week or this month with She-Hulk and Tatiana Maslany.
Mm-hmm.
But our next story is right along that same vein, Giggity, with Marvel, because Kevin Feige has announced that the Fantastic Four movie will not be an origin story.
Nice.
God.
I think he's learning, man, from his time with Spider-Man. You know, when they did Homecoming, they did the same thing. You know who this is. We don't need to go back over this.
Do not need another origin story.
So Kevin Feige revealed to The Hollywood Reporter that the studio's plans to take a different approach to bringing superhero team to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Quote, a lot of people know this origin. A lot of people know the basics. How do you take that and bring something they've never seen before? We've set a very high bar for ourselves with bringing that to screen. Now,
if you want to be in the next Star Wars, I'm your guy.
Different universe. But I think Kevin Feige has a goal. And that's with Phase 5 and Phase 6 being more focused on the intellectual property you just got. They announced that Daredevil and Spider-Man are going to be your street-level heroes. That's big because that's where they were in the comics. That means they'll pop up occasionally in here to there in the future, which is great. You have a lot of, obviously, the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars were announced for Phase 6. Fantastic Four is kicking off Phase 6. So, do you see them going John Krasinski? Or are they going to go for that, like we have talked about, that they rumored they're going for a different route?
I don't know. I don't really know. That's a tall
I know what I
order to kind
prefer.
of fill right now.
I prefer that John Krasinski actually gets a decent go at Mr. Fantastic.
I would
Especially-
love to see John Krasinski and Emily Blunt
Yeah.
both in there. I don't think that they're going to do it just because he said that this was a fan casting just for Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And they may want to make them, and not to say that John Krasinski is old in any way, but they may be wanting to pull somebody like in their early 30s or late 20s that they can get a little bit more of a run there instead of somebody already seasoned coming in so late in the game.
Well, that makes sense, especially because that's what I want them to do with like the X-Men and all that. I don't want what I've already seen. So I'm also a little bit more open to who Marvel will cast because they have done a solid job up until now. Even if you just take Doctor Strange, as they just wanted to pack that movie with multiverse goodness because apparently we're in the multiverse saga.
Yep.
So
I would like if whoever they end up casting, which again, I would love it if it was John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. I don't think that it's going to be, but I would love for if we're deep diving into this multiverse that we get to see them in another universe, even if it's just for a quick minute or a little cameo or even like, a little pop in there, just to give a little bit more of that fan service, because he said that's exactly what this was. And I think this is one of those like monkey bone things where we got what we wanted, but we were still unhappy because the way that they did it was kind of shitty. So,
well, here's the thing is that
you wanted this. Yeah, but I didn't want him to be like shredded.
Well, we have Daredevil.
I want you to put him through a paper shredder right in the middle, like as soon as we saw it.
I mean, we had Daredevil coming into She-Hulk as well as Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is that animated property, which is apparently a multiversal tale. So you have a lot of stuff going on with Marvel to where if this is multiverse saga, they are really embracing that to where do you see them actually acknowledging the Sony universe more? Or was that just a kind of nod that they did before with Venom?
I think that if Sony is smart, they will just let Disney do whatever they want as long as they get their cut. Like,
yeah, because apparently Morbius was
why
trash.
work? It's like somebody is paying you to use their like you want to clean my house and pay me to do it. Go for it. I'm not gonna say no.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
That's like literally somebody coming to your house being like, I'll pay you $20 to mow your lawn. I just need I just get to take pictures of it and put it on my website. No, don't do that. Don't pay me $20 and also I have a clean lawn. Like, Tony, just let Disney do it. Just let them do it.
Yeah, because Morbius was trash.
Yes, but I do think that they should continue to do their animated stuff because their animated Spider-Man is still my favorite Spider-Man.
I can't wait for that. And and it's a 2-movie deal for into the next Into the Spider-Verse movies we're getting. I can't wait for the first one, but if they tie it up right and they don't Godfather that shit, it should be really great.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't forget the second Godfather was better. It's just the third one that went.
Yeah, and a lot like the Godfather game too, and Mafia too.
Godfather game was awesome.
No, Godfather 3, the game, and Mafia 3, the game.
Mafia
Straight
2.
trash.
Both of them were trash.
Yeah.
That was my main point. It's just the numbers that got that confused. A lot like confusing this for the next story.
Yay.
November 8th, 2024 is when you'll see the Fantastic Four. We will see more in September during Disney's D23 Expo. But we have an expo of a new trailer for Andor, showing the early days of the Rebel Alliance, which it's not a bad look for the Rebel Alliance, I gotta tell you. Andor will have 2 seasons, each with 12 episodes. The first season will go on Disney Plus September 21st, with the first 3 episodes at premiere date. Andor was previously scheduled to debut at the end of August, but Lucasfilm and Disney have apparently delayed the series. That will give Andor a bit of breathing room in a very crowded summer for streaming, because you have, like we mentioned, She-Hulk. You also have House of Dragon premiering on August 21st, and She-Hulk is on August 17th. So we have a lot of nerdy content coming at us here. Andor, I am excited for, but I completely forgot House of Dragons is August 21st. I'm really excited. That's Matt Smith. You got to go where the doctor is. But what's your overall thought of Andor as a series?
I have conflict because, I'm a big Star Wars fan too.
Mm-hmm.
And Bad Batch and Obi-Wan and Book of Boba did not reach the heights that I was hoping for. So looking at the cast and seeing the clips, part of me is like, yes, please, more of this. But at the same time, I'm like, if you center this around a 10-year-old kid again, I am going to fly to California and beat the crap out of all the Fs over there.
You have to just appreciate they went somewhere else other than a desert planet, okay? There was Coruscant.
I don't know. I see desert there too.
Maybe it's a different
it's
desert.
A desert planet. I sincerely don't mind. I just am tired of stories that are not centered around the central people that the show is about. Is titled after. I don't even want to say about. Titled after.
Stories are complicated.
Please, and Andor, like I said, the actors. Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars film, as we all know.
Yeah, and I've rewatched it since I've heard that, and it's so good. It's really good.
Andor is a lead into that, so I'm excited for that. But at the same time, it wasn't a story that I was super interested in to begin with. But again, my concern, even from the bits that we see in trailer, I saw scrawny legs. I swear to God, if this is centered around a child, I'm going to be so... As a mother, I'm tired of these shows centered around kids.
Like the one meme
knock it off?
That's going around for, what is it, the MCU for the babysitting saga. And they have all the people with the kids, like Doctor Strange with American Chavez.
Is it okay if we do Obi-Wan spoilers? Have we already talked about Obi-Wan?
Oh, everybody's
everybody.
all around that.
Okay, so the show was called Obi-Wan, but it was absolutely about everyone else except for Obi-Wan, and that
until the last episode
for me. But even then, not to mention, he had one job: get Leia and bring her back, and he literally abandoned her with anyone that he met for more than 7 seconds. Like, watch her, make sure she gets back to her parents. You have no idea who the f*** that is. One of them was
got
wearing
the
an imperial,
force. It worked.
an imperial uniform when you first met them, and you're like, "Here, take this kid."
Look, man, you got to imagine like any kind of real good Jedi Master, like Big Brother. Okay, he's just there, like, oh, trust in the Force. We're just going this way.
You know, I stopped watching the Bad Batch because Omega was getting on my last damn nerve.
I love that show.
Couldn't do it.
You didn't like She Was a Clone? Spoiler alert.
No, I do not. I do not care.
I thought
What bothered me is every episode they were like, "We got to do this," and then she goes off on her own little adventure, and then it becomes Save the Baby.
Well, she's
and
a kid.
I wanted to watch the Bad Batch, which was supposed to be the Star Wars version of A-Team, and that is not what I got. I got 3 men and a baby.
Yes, you did. 3
Done.
clone troopers and a baby. Yeah, that might be the title of the podcast. I don't know. No, they did kind of sell that as the
Star Wars
A-Team in
and me
Clone Wars.
is happy, but based on the last couple of things that they put out, I'm not as excited as I was going into these other shows. So,
Well, you may be a little bit more excited about this next story. Hang on.
That was a good segue.
Because the Arrowverse will end next year with The Flash. The fastest man alive is going to stop running with season 9. Holy 9? God, holy cat. You guys kept going. Oh, wow. They really believed in that CW verse, didn't they? Wow. In 2023, too. Next year.
It was their only show. That's all they had.
They stopped everything else. It's like, all right. It's Barry. We'll let you slow down, not just kill you by
We'll
putting a
renew
brick
you
wall.
for another
because
year,
of Barry
but only
that
because we
it
have no other programming.
They don't. TV is dying. If nobody else caught that on. Who watches TV? Your parents? Your grandparents?
not even.
That's right. And I'm talking like, I don't like technology. That kind of like parent or grandparent. You know who I'm talking about. That person still watches TV. You probably just look at your phone all day and go on your streaming apps like all the rest of us.
It's on in the staff room.
You got to have that. But
That's why I don't talk to some of my family.
here's the thing. I watched more seasons of The Flash than I did Arrow or any of the other ones. Legends of Tomorrow got maybe, after the first season, I kind of watched it on and off because the guy who was from Doctor Who, like, they killed him off. So I'm like, all right, well, I don't
Rory.
I don't need to watch you. You don't have Rory, so that's it. I'm so sorry. You should have kept him on. Like, he was playing a knockoff Time Lord. Like, run with that. You don't kill off a Time Lord. That's like killing off the first Doctor after the first episode. Like, yeah, I can regenerate, but I'm not. Later.
You could tell, like, from the very first season that they had no idea. They had no plan. And so every episode was really uneven.
Ugh.
And they really didn't give him much to do. So then it was like, why is he even here? Especially since he wasn't an established character that people already knew. And White Canary pretty much was, like, stole the show. So then she ended up taking on the responsibilities that he had.
That name just
I have
sounds
not
so
seen
wrong.
any CW show in
White
years. I have no
Canary.
idea what's going on. I didn't even know it was still on, to be honest.
Honestly, I thought they canceled
Good for him,
Flash
though.
like 2
Good for
seasons
him.
ago. But, I mean, great. He is way better of a Flash than Ezra Miller.
I hate to agree with that, but Ezra Miller as an actor, I still enjoy Ezra Miller as a person, not so much.
I can separate the two because you got to look at all actors are crazy.
There's
Oh.
crazy, and then there's a salty, and a salty is.
Look, I'm sure he'll get his little drug problem under wraps eventually. The heroin or PCP or whatever the hell he's doing.
Okay.
Quirky. Quirky.
Assaulting people and doing things without consent, that that's
We did-
a little
we-
bit harder to separate from the character.
Allegedly
Blah, blah, blah.
climbed in a couple's bedroom window.
Looking for drugs, damn it.
Yeah, that's
Any kind of 12-step program you want to just anonymously go into, bro?
he was
Rehab or
geocaching. He clearly got that riddle wrong. So
Wrong, sir. Wrong. Back to the Flash, the right Flash, Grant Gustinson. The upcoming season is scheduled to premiere on the network's mid-season schedule, which is not very typical of them because typically it comes out in January, like first of the year. They want to start off with their best foot, and it usually was Flash, especially when they got Peter Capaldi as the Thinker. Or no, that was James Gunn. The person they had as
MMR?
was it the Thinker or no? Mind.
I think it was Kevin Gunn.
Who's that character? They had him in like season 4. They're on 9. You know what I mean? This is like
I had the thinker, but it was most definitely not Peter Capaldi.
No.
Peter Capaldi was
the
in
guy
Suicide
they
Squad.
got. It was the Thinker though, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
The guy they got for that story they did was really great for the Thinker. The Flash got their own universe right because
The
they
Flash
still pulled
was
from
really
that.
good for a while, and then it
Yeah.
just
That first season, oh my god, so good.
But I also think that the bar was much lower back then. Now we've had so much other stuff come out that when you try to go back to these shows, you're like, oh.
Are you telling me my 8-track player is out of date?
No, your 8-track player is still relevant and amazing. The Flash, however, if you go back and watch that first episode, might not hold up.
I have missed you so much. An abbreviated 13 episodes of The Flash can be seen in 2023, but most of us know what they're doing because the Arrowverse has nothing left. I mean, the CW has 3 shows apparently. Stargirl, Superman and Lois, which has already established itself in this new non-Arrowverse thing with the Gotham Knights show apparently. So they are doing stuff, and I think they didn't fail. They got a D. Okay? If we're looking at it as a semester report, I find promise, especially shelving Batgirl. I 100% agree with Katarina and the future statement she makes in the end credits. But
How can you see the future?
very good medication.
Is that what the Flash was looking for when you crawled in the wrong window?
You know what he was looking for?
What?
This next story.
That was a good segue.
With A+ catering and events, man. Because if you want to crawl through any window, it's the event that these guys are throwing because their food is the only way I can describe it is elegant, delectable, and delicious. Because you can hire them for your next event or catering need, and you will not regret it, man. Hop on over to apluscaterers.com, and they serve the greater, tri-state area there. They will come out to your event, and you won't regret it. So we want to hop over to our next story, which, I don't know, man. It may be good, it may be bad. But ultimately, the next Tomb Raider film will have a new Lara Croft. Tomb Raider's movie rights are up for grabs. According to a report from The Wrap, Amazon-owned MGM waited too long to create a sequel because of the 2020 pandemic, and now Tomb Raider film is free for grabs. Old man, what kind of pocket change you got? Are we in this?
No.
No, we're not in it.
Okay.
No, we're
So,
not.
We're not involved in this negotiation.
No, we're not.
You gotta swing for every ball, man. You miss 100% of the swings you don't do.
No.
I will die on that hill. So, several studios are currently engaged in a bidding war to snap up the Tomb Raider rights. The Wrap reports, and since the license comes,
We don't have to do it. Okay.
No, we don't. There's there. Do you have a moth sound effect? Something like a moth flying out of my wallet? Because that's, I don't know, there's a lot of them in there.
No, we don't.
No. The license comes with a no obligation to retain the same cast and crew, which brings it to the point that you could go with anybody as your next Lara Croft. My question to you two is, why would you want to? I would rather watch Harrison Ford in an oxygen mask in Indiana Jones 75 than another Tomb Raider reboot.
I agree. A lot of these things that come out, I don't know why we need them. I don't
Because
think
they
we
own
need
the
them.
rights. Well, not anymore.
I mean, is this where humanity's going? Like with intellect, like they do with intellectual property? Like, I'm sorry, we can't let Grandpa die. We have to clone him again. You sure? The last one looked pretty inbred. It's all right. We perfected it. He's not going to have that third arm.
Again.
You know what I mean? Why can't we just let an IP die? I don't know. You think of something new.
I'm sorry, all ideas have been taken.
Mm.
You're too late.
The
5 years ago,
concept
maybe.
of Lara Croft is like, I like treasure hunting things. There's already so many like docu series style things, like reality shows that are people treasure hunting, and there are already so many shows
Nat Geo.
and films that are centered around that. We don't need another one. And yes, Lara Croft is an established character, but just based on how those last movies have done, they didn't do that great.
No.
What are we trying to recreate here?
I'd like a shot-for-shot remake of the game. It has to be third person. You have to follow her around.
Third person.
That's what I want.
Third person pixelated.
Shot for shot.
Third person, like old school pixelated and all.
Yeah.
Here's,
Triangle.
I'm going to give you.
Live
the
action.
perspective.
Live
Ready?
action triangles and squares as
She's
far
jumping,
as you can
she's
see.
jumping over stuff. You can make it look realistic, whatever. There you go.
Yes.
So my perspective is, why do we need another video game IP to have a movie when we already have Uncharted filling the space with Tom Holland right now?
Yeah, but this has got a woman.
That's a good point. That was in
There's
the
a
back
woman
of
in
my
this.
head as a thought. Like, we got Tom Holland.
But we
He's
have
foreign. That should be a safe idea. He's English. He's
the
a
Tomb
foreigner.
Raider has been done multiple times. Okay,
It has.
it has. We have the Jolie Tomb Raider.
That first movie
And
was
now-
good.
Yeah,
The first movie was good. It was a little over campy, but it was still good.
Yeah.
But and then we had Alicia Vikander was the actress that played Tomb Raider.
Right.
So, and she did an okay job. It just wasn't anything to write home about. Now, if they would have had that ability to like build a sequel, but even the pandemic would have been a poor excuse to say I didn't have enough time, because they could have been staging it as soon as everything opened back up to just get it in pre-production.
Well, that's kind of where hindsight's 2020, because the pandemic was either really good or really bad. Like, you look at Maverick. It was really bad for Maverick, to the point to where that movie was done, and they just understood, we can't release this on streaming. We have to wait until we can put this in the theater.
Yeah, there's certain things that require it to be in an actual theatrical setting. There, some IPs just require it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see Tomb Raider as that property, you know?
It never was.
I don't.
It never was. It's just
even,
an action. I mean, it's just a popcorn movie.
I don't even want
Whereas
it as a TV
you went-
series.
You know, Maverick was originally released in a theater, and people went to go see it
Yeah.
because of the
did good.
times.
Because it has Tom Cruise.
Oh, well, yeah. That's why it still did good, is Tom Cruise.
I think in spite of Tom Cruise,
He's got
maybe?
Xenu, man. He's got Xenu on his side.
Never doubt.
Val Kilmer.
When in doubt, Xenu will bail you out.
I don't think so.
No? Okay. I might have just made that up. A lot like this next story. Because reportedly, the next Grand Theft Auto game will have a female protagonist. Not only a female protagonist, reportedly a Latina female protagonist as one of the two characters, which has been rumored that there would be at least two characters. They're going for a Bonnie and Clyde feel.
Is it going to be a story so small you could fit it inside a thimble? That's a yes.
Let me read the copy. According to a report by Bloomsburg.
A thimble, for those of you who don't know, is something for sewing.
Yeah, you put it over your...
Sewing.
Yeah.
And a Monopoly piece.
Everybody wanted to be the thimble for the car.
Sure.
According to Bloomsburg, Grand Theft Auto 6 will feature a female protagonist for the first in the series. This matches up with previous Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks, which had a similar claim. And like I said, they're going to have the Bonnie and Clyde feel. More information about the Grand Theft Auto 6 protagonist was that she will be Latina and she'll be one of a pair of leading characters in a story influenced by bank robbers, Bonnie and Clyde. It seems to suggest that previous leaks about Grand Theft Auto 6 having two characters will be correct. They will also start in Vice City. It's
Okay.
of
It looks like Vice City from the photo.
fictional rendering of Miami, in quotes. So, Vice City. Now, yeah, here's the thing that you want to do the record stop on, which is the consistent rumors, is that they are going to be adding more cities later on.
It was like DLC.
That's the feel I get from it, because originally they wanted parts of South America, lower United States, and Cuba, and like all that region in the game. And that's what we reported on. Jesus, oh man, I don't want to say how many years ago. Just watch the back catalog. We said it.
Yeah, it was only 1,000 episodes.
340, man. 340.
Oh, okay.
Those are just the listenable ones, at least.
That was sus.
Okay.
It was sus, because I don't know. Some of these podcasts that are audible may not be listenable. I don't know. But how do you guys feel about this? Like, I feel like they're just trying to live service Grand Theft Auto 6, but they're trying to prepare us that, yes, we're just going to continuously take your money with expanded. It's essentially like Ballad of Gay Tony all over again. They're just going to give you the same game with a different story and make you pay for it.
No, that's fine, but what's the story like?
Just give me a good story and make it a long story.
Yeah.
Make it like a long, engaging game. I don't want to be playing a game and then put it down. Like, I want to finish a game. I want to feel the need to finish a game. If I'm going to put my money,
you get attached to
invested into a game, I want to feel like there's games that I purchased that, 2 weeks later, I don't feel the urge to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're not engaging.
Yes.
So if the game is not engaging and it's not keeping my intrigue.
Grand Theft Auto 4 was that game that kept that.
4 was the only one. Besides
the recent ones for
Vice
me.
City.
Recent ones for me and Mike
Vice
too.
City, San Andreas 3.
San Andreas was great.
Oh yeah.
San Andreas was instrumental in
For the time.
moving the needle forward.
Yes.
But Grand Theft Auto 4 was pivotal.
It was pivotal for the whole series. It moved it forward 100%. But also it was the first Grand Theft Auto with DLC content and online. And they heavily supported that. But now they've been doing that DLC content just for online. I kind of see that's what their plan is. I mean, maybe they'll do a DLC story, but
Probably not.
I don't see it as being meaty. Look at the last game, man. I mean, they've been talking about doing this for a while, so maybe they're course correcting. I just have to look at this pessimistically because it's Rockstar. They don't have the best reputation,
So
especially with a game at launch.
I'm sure they'll half-ass it.
So there's two things that are going against Rockstar right now because
The swing set from Grand Theft Auto.
they released GTA Online Plus, which is a paid online service for whatever it gives you, which is just BS anyway.
A bunch of schmucks.
So not only are you paying for the game, that you're also paying for online service for a game that's free to play online if you already have the, PlayStation or Xbox, whatever service.
I'd buy
it's
that
free to
for
play
a
on
dollar.
PC.
I'd buy
Exactly.
that for $1.
Yes, $2. That's why I hit it twice. But
I know you did.
that's the only kind of price point I'm putting this idea at because you guys often say this before I do because I'm Mr. Hop in the lake and then just watch myself burn because it turned out to be lava. I am going to remain very skeptical until I can see some solid information from Grand Theft Auto. Okay, you've beat me before. I don't believe when you say you're not going to do it again.
Okay.
As a weird way to end off that story and go on to somebody else who knows they suck. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say Rockstar knows they suck.
Suck!
Have you ever heard of Lost Oasis, old man?
Yes, why?
The MMO have actually, they kind of admits their game sucks.
Yeah, I knew it sucks that I didn't even play it.
Now, this is the part that I find really funny. It's not a post on the discussion page written by a disgruntled player. It's not an opinion or like an op-ed. And it's actually from the game media outlet, a Steam new aggregator. It was written by a Lost Oasis developer. Even
Yeah,
the
I'm not
developer
surprised.
came out and said, this game sucks.
He wouldn't
Yeah, I'm not
play
surprised.
it either. That's why it
If I had a
sucks.
dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
I mean, Lost Oasis is a nomadic survival MMO where players construct and travel in a land-crawling fortress called Walkers. Man, that's original. They're called Walkers. Carl.
Texas Rangers. Every one of them.
I just got this. I got this.
You all heard the music. You all heard it.
Title of the
Do
podcast
it.
right there.
Do it, the gaming community. Make a mod that for Lost Oasis that all you see is walking Chuck Norrises.
See, I went somewhere different with that because I just saw Chuck Norris ending the zombie apocalypse in The Walking Dead. That's what I saw.
It's where Walker tells you I'm
Rick's,
not gonna even
Rick's
finish
trying to tell Chuck Norris, like, we call them Walkers. Like, not for long.
Hello there.
And that's what his boot says to their face as he takes it off. So I just found it very funny that they are trying to fix it. Okay, they realize that the doors have fallen off the truck. There's no bed anymore, and you hear a boom, boom, boom over every bump in the road. So the car is about to fall apart, and they're gonna try to get some duct tape and piece it together.
It's too late. Sell the car.
Ever the optimist.
Get a good lease. Think sensible. Be sensible. Next story.
Which is our ad segment story. Because I thought of, even in just a sci-fi realm, in general, I find this as an interesting premise of best sci-fi, I'll put it, game or movie that isn't Mass Effect or Star Wars related. Go.
Dark Matter.
Dark Matter was great for a good time.
Dark Matter. Thank you. Dark Matter.
Dark Matter was really great, especially with the whole amnesia thing they started off with it in the beginning. But I
With their
kind of
numbers.
feel
By the
like
third season, it
fell on
I
its
get it.
face.
But I think it was like they were gonna get canceled and they got this last run. I don't think they were ready. I wish that hadn't happened because I really did love that show. I love the premise. I love the actors.
Me too.
I even have the ship tattooed on me. No,
Oh, I
there
love
she
that
is,
shit.
the Raza, right there. You see?
Yes, the Raza. I love it. I mean, I'll even throw Big Brother. What's that Amazon one?
That's helpful.
With the ring, with the guy in the hat who was invisible. He went in the alien thing. Expanse.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
wow.
That was the
would've
worst
got it from
description
that
ever.
description.
I gotta tell you, I might
He has
make
a
that
hat. He wears it on his head. Oh, that movie. Yeah.
I might make that the
the
promo
guy who-
because
You're
if you're
making me,
going
like
for,
when he goes invisible, I'm thinking, what? Stargate SG-1? Like, what is he talking about? Farscape? I don't know. Farscape is another great one.
I'm just
by the way.
being really vague. That might actually be the promo. But no, Expanse is one of those properties. It's not Star Wars, and it has its own mythos because it has the book. And apparently the book is just a very in-depth telling, which the show is still kind of very loyal to. But the show have also...
Creole.
They've done the good sci-fi thing of paying somebody to, like a scientist, to look through this and like, hey man, what do you think? Like when you look at that ship, it's a penis. Like you're propelling through space, all the gravity is going to be dispersed down, so it's going to be like a rocket, and you just stack it on top, as opposed to like a Star Trek kind of blueprint. They thought that well in depth, even to the like space shots. They really put a lot of effort into that one, which is why I find The Expanse is like really great. What do you think, old man?
I got a couple games, and
Okay.
a couple movies. Prey, Halo,
Halo.
Elite Dangerous.
A lot of those, a couple of those are in this article, especially Prey
Yes.
and Elite Dangerous. I really agreed with those. One that if it was ever completed, I'm sure Big Brother will agree with me, is Star Citizen.
They're wrapping it up.
Yeah, but you're forgetting also Wing Commander.
Ooh, yeah.
That goes back in its mythos because it did cross over between movie, show, and game.
Yeah. A lot of people like the Wing Commander show. I want to say Mark is one of them, just because it seems like a thing he would like.
Wing Commander 3 had Mark Hamill on it too. So and
I meant
3
Mark
and 4.
Gervais. He probably
Yeah,
liked
so-
all of those. He
Yeah.
likes that kind of era movie, if I were to put it.
But then we have Event Horizon, Prometheus, Aliens. So we have those as well.
Event Horizon was really good.
It was awesome too. And then you have those shit movies that are like good premise but poor execution, like Geostorm and all those other things. Those, like, we could see that happening maybe at the end of our lifetime, but not really, executed properly.
That's
because
when they're
of,
like
the
Baskin
condition.
Robbins, like scooping the bottom of the barrel. Like, what else we got? We got Sharknado as a game.
That would actually be pretty fun to be the fucking shark with the fin out of the water.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a bunch of Steam games where you can be a shark. Just wait
but, I mean,
a little
yeah,
bit.
so
You can
just-
get a
just
VR
those.
one in the future.
But like EVE Online, you required like master physics in order to play that game.
Oh, Big Brother used to play EVE Online.
Yeah.
Well, that's where all
It's
his
an
pain comes
exercise
from.
in banging your head against the wall.
Exactly why he did it in the first place.
It's because I'm a horrible man. And anyone who plays it, you're like, oh, you like spreadsheets and you're a horrible masochist.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's it. That's it.
Some people
There's not
have
a learning
I have
curve.
served you
It's a
Irish
clip.
for the game.
look.
Stream it and die.
I will refer to
So.
a previous statement by our wonderful woman, there is no kink shaming here.
Unless you play Eve.
That's a hell of a lot of kink.
You
on
found
that
the addendum.
program.
You guys drop any eggs lately?
And of course, you got Star Trek, in that.
Star Trek Online, I was actually impressed with the little bit that I did pop in that MMO. I was very impressed to where it was.
Yeah, and it's free to play too.
Very exactly,
But-
free to play is very
and-
welcoming to like a new player. It will.
But then you
show
have
what
like
need.
FTL, which faster than light, which is
Yeah,
kind of like
that's another
It's kind of
good
like a Tiny Teller version of Star Trek.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's not a bad one.
So like those are good.
Would you put like Jack and Daxter in that sci-fi realm?
They're not necessarily sci-fi. That was more adventure.
Yeah, all right. I just really like Jack and Daxter.
Just because they have technology doesn't mean it's a sci-fi.
I just want them to do a Jack and Daxter reboot already. Like, what the hell are you?
Well,
waiting
everybody
for?
wants them to do a Jack and Dexter reboot, but
Exactly. Like,
you're not going to get it.
if I said I want ice cream and I will give you $100 if I get any kind of ice cream right now, I guarantee you I get ice cream pretty quickly. Just kind of putting it like that there. They have easy money and we can get ice cream. You know what? I kind of want ice cream now. We should end on with cat.
It's a call to arms to all the Wallhangers out there.
Ice cream time! Oh, it's ice cream time. Get your own ice cream.
So, big brother, what's your opinion?
I'll go with Doctor Who.
Damn, I didn't even think of that.
Neither
Katarina,
did I.
are you as ashamed as I?
No.
Oh, I'm very ashamed. Like that's
Matt, you
I
should
love
show-
Doctor Who. I thought,
Matt,
fuck, man, that's a really
you
good
should
one.
show Kat the board game that I got you when I was up there.
Oh,
in
it's all the way over
Massachusetts.
there. Yeah, I will. But yeah, I
I'd have
have
to
a
stand up.
yeah.
Later. We have a show to do right now.
Like going over to our picture of our main page on facebook.com/TriforcePod. That's where you're going to find us going live, man. And of course, the Triforce podcast does not end without our thank yous. Oh, wow. I went all the way up there. Hang on
Yeah,
a second.
you don't have that.
I'll
Yeah, you
edit
did.
this out.
Yeah, you did.
We end off this podcast the very same way with the thank yous. We want to thank you to Mark Gervais, Frank One Punch Percy, Wolfman Howe, Josephine Moira, Vern, Lord help me,
Troyer?
Troyer.
Ignatowski,
That works for me.
Willie Bolin, Dr. Lori Gore Green,
Okay.
Doctor, and you, loyal Wallhanger, for liking, commenting, subscribing, and overall supporting the podcast because it does not matter. Wait, wrong podcast. We always end off the same damn way with long drawn out goodbye. I am your host, Matthew Bugrell, the Mat Man. In the Perjanger box, we have our wonderful woman, Katarina Thermoscara. We have our old man, Christopher Bristow. Our omnipotent presence that is Stephen Bucarell, big brother. As well, you hear him piping up our mascot hero of time, Link Diablo. We want to see you next week because we love you. We miss you. We'll see you then.
Hey.
Game on, boys and girls. Bye-bye.
Oh no, we're going to end it.
First thing I got up in the live folder is we have a certain Game of Thrones that's getting a 4K release on the HBO Max. 4K HDR. So it's not going to be too dark anymore. Although you said when that aired, old man, that it was mainly for artistic expression because it was the dark. They were building up to it. I know you were thinking about it. That's what the smile is. But yeah, but I like the ability to be able to see all the characters that they spent, like, I don't know, a couple $1 million at least making the outfits for that scene. I'll enjoy that with the 4K rewatch.
You would think, right?
I mean, they spent all that money to film something in the dark. Like, you could have had them wear paper bags when that thing first came out. It was awful. But 4K makes everything look
You
great.
could have.
Yeah.
Could have.
Good. But they went the full 9 yards, man. They spent the money for that darkness. Giggity. What else we got in the live folder while we're waiting for our participants?
Batman.
Let's see here.
Batgirl.
Let me call.
The movie.
Oh yeah, that got shelved.
Yes, it did. Very quickly.
Never mind. She's here.
Oh.
Mine.
Hello.
For mine, I'm here. I just had to figure it out first.
Go to the top of that and you see the double. Oh, no, there she is. Excellent. It does work. Hola, Katarina. It has been way too long.
Yes, it has.
Hi.
Oh, you are a sight for sore eyes, my wonderful woman.
Say that now. Wait till I start talking. Then you'll be like, wow. She probably should have napped.
She's rusty. Oh, my God. No, but I can hear you in optimal quality because old man.
Beautiful body. But ain't no way in hell we ever getting married. 'Cause
No.
girl, you're
What?
like ranch dressing. I just want you on the side.
Oh my god.
Your boys have been busy. God, we both have new buttons here. Hang on, because Kelly and I were doing a little fun of.
I started blasting.
And then, of course, from our infamous Batman.
Where is she?
I love that one.
Where is she?
Right there. She's been gone for a while, but she's right there. It's okay, Batman. I wish we would have had.
Wait, put your weapon. I mean you no harm.
This is Perjangers.
Yeah, no, this is it. This is
I
completely.
have
Yes.
a convention in Colorado Springs, August 17th. I'm there from August 17th to the 25th, right?
Okay.
And Ahmed Best is one of the people that are going to be there, one of the guests that they booked. And his birthday is August 19th. So in the Facebook group for the staff, one of the people were like, hey, Ahmed Best's birthday is August 19th. Do you think we could get him a cake? And my dumbass, who has nothing to do with any of this, okay? I don't have anything to do with the celebrities, nothing, right?
Yep.
I was like, Misa think that being a good idea. And then I was like, don't kill me.
And then isn't he the host of that Jedi Trials show that's supposed to be in the works at Disney Plus?
Your guess is as good as mine.
It's supposed to be like Legends of the Hidden Temple meets Star Wars.
That sounds exactly right, although I don't know, so I'm just agreeing. Yeah,
It
exactly right.
does sound right. We were
It's par for the course.
on this end credit story here of the Batgirl movie being shelved.
Yep, that sums it
Good.
up.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean it doesn't show me it doesn't give me happy feelings, you know, because let me look up the word they actually used here. The word they used was
COVID.
no.
Even though it's right there.
You know, I
It is right.
I am a DC girl. I was a DC girl originally. Like that was my first love, Wonder Woman, of course. And then,
Irredeemable.
so I want DC to do well. I've been aching for DC to do well, and they've had some high points for sure. Animated, absolutely. Wonder Woman, I will die on the hill of that. Her first movie being
Oh, great.
one of the best that they've ever put out. But DC or Warner Brothers really needs to take a hard look at what they're doing and what they're not doing. And I would rather they scrap everything, take the time that they need to plan something out for the next 10 years, like a solid plan, and then come back strong. My love for these things are always based in reality. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's awesome when it sucks. If it sucks, it sucks, and that's it.
Yep.
And I'm tired. I'm tired of things sucking. I'm tired of them making decisions that aren't based at a fan level, because that's where you're going to make your money. Your fans, and you're losing them rapidly. So was I hoping for a Batgirl film? Yes. Do I think we need this Batgirl film right now? Absolutely not. And they should scrap The Flash. Whatever they've already finished, put that out, and then just sit quiet for a couple of years, think about what they've done, and figure out how to do it better.
Are you putting DC in the corner?
I am. I'm putting them in timeout.
Damn.
You have
And
been
you know, I
warned.
say that from a place of love, because I want them to do well.
I can
I've been
feel.
wanting them to do well since 1985, when I read Crisis on Infinite Earths and then the post-crisis George Perez run. I've been waiting a long time.
This is the kind of movie that you needed to be tripping balls.
I've been waiting a long
And
time.
not to
use
trip
that.
balls.
I have been waiting so long. I forgot I even put it on here, and then I saw Cat tripping, and I was like, you know what? I should
Yeah.
just push it.
I don't know if this counts as tripping, does it?
Well, they need to be tripping balls. Let's see what I did. If they want to correct this, test your might, if you will, because the recent little thing that I wanted to add in here while we're talking about the whole Batverse in the end credits, after what we already discussed in the main podcast, of course, is that we got Batfleck on Aquaman 2.
Okay.
Already reported that they kind of ex-nayed the Amber Heard as much as they could So
No, she didn't exist.
Blessed
anymore.
be.
do we see Batfleck getting like reshoots to fit in the movie to where she was?
That'd be awesome.
I wish they had gotten a woman to do it, just because their stuff tends to be men-centric. Well, most superhero things tend to be men-centric, and I get that the vast majority are men, but still.
Fair point.
I would have liked them to have brought his mother back.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe.
Nicole Kidman could have filled a lot of those roles. Plus, the chemistry between Amber and Jason wasn't that great in the first one anyway. That it was a good movie in spite of it, not because of it. So,
Reportedly, from a certain trial that they plastered everywhere, she might have been a bit of a cunt.
No.
I don't like that word, but I also don't disagree.
I mean, a definition is a
the soundbite
definition.
that we needed.
That's great. So I also have this one.
Maybe there were 2 knuckles deep in my throat.
Me?
Yeah, that's you.
The heck did I say that?
I don't know. I found it on the Roadcaster one day, and I was like, "Fuck it! All clips must go on." This is the end
minute.
of the board.
Back that up. I need the context for that, because I.
This is great end credits.
I don't know, but it's just such a good question. Like,
Tell me Steven hasn't been learning how to fake my voice and did that clip for me.
not yet.
No, that's too much effort.
Since we're using his face for my profile picture, it would be appropriate.
Damn, I forgot that's still up there. Yeah, no. that is still there. I forgot about that.
You said just copy what I had.
We just,
Anytime I hear a clip of my voice that I don't agree with, I'm blaming it on Steven. Thank you.
it's a service. It's
Plausible deniability.
Hang on. It's a bleeping service. Too long? Maybe a bit too long on the bleep.
I don't think he's going to be doing that.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Not anymore. Just for that joke. I have a lot of helpful buttons. That was my point. But I have one last in the
Too many.
I have one last in the fold.
Because he can't find anything ever. Hold on.
So what
I
if
almost
we
got it.
this
Here
shit?
comes.
Look, this next story is a lot cooler, dare I say, because that
was a good segue.
Thank you, Connor. I also have an awesome Connor Link t-shirt coming. It's an exclusive design from Frank Percy, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be on all our merch stores.
Hey, listen.
Because Henry Cavill upgraded his PC gang. His fan took a shit. Not you. The fan in his PC. So he upgraded.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, you probably did, but it wasn't you. It was his PC fan.
And this new
and
fan
we're
was
moving
probably
on.
free.
Yeah. But take a click on that side of the Twitter thing there, because this is a really nice PC. Go to the next one because it's all finished. That. Oh, man.
Oh.
Ain't that a beaut? It just looks cool. I want to get that kind of that digital setup on my next fan when I upgrade. Oh, I'm going for that digital setup.
That's that Superman money paying for that.
Well, you see that.
Well, actually, you know what? Probably Witcher money.
You see that top-notch GeForce RTX right on front. That was not stamped on. That was created by somebody, which means he spent a lot of money.
As he should, King.
Absolutely.
Clark.
Play games, man. You're the ultimate nerd king. This is why I put it in here, because there was one for a PC that was also a functioning toilet. It was in the porcelain, but you know, internet being what it is, it was just like, man, we're gonna have like a trailer or two in this podcast. I can't do
my
another
goodness,
video.
Now that's one of those. Just because you could doesn't mean that you should.
That's also
Very wholehearted.
another reason why I didn't put it in the show.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's like,
you.
you know what? It's Kat's first time back. I probably shouldn't put the shit story in there. Hang on.
Yeah, let's
It's a bit loud.
let me get numb and then go ahead.
So we have a full set of stories as we get prepared to go live. We want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Right above my head is going to be the very best Perjangers and Wallhangers video for you. And right above our cardboard Kelly is going to be every single Triforce podcast in a playlist. All over 150 of them, gang. So until next week, as our main man Connor always says,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye.